Lesson 9-3 Circles. A circle is the set of all points on a plane that are equidistant from a given point on the plane. This point is called the center because it is at the center of the circle. Any segment with endpoints at the center and at any point on the circle is called the radius of the circle. The center of the circle can be represented by h and k, and the radius is represented, the point is x and y, with the radius itself being represented by r. The standard form for this equation can be represented as x squared plus y squared equals r squared, which can be found by x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Let's try this out using an example. Suppose we want to write an equation for this circle. The first step is to find out what the radius is. This can be found by simply counting the number of lines between the given point on the circle and the center. We can see that we need to count the space between 3, -2, which is the center, and 3, -5, which is the given point. By counting the spaces, we can see that the radius equals 3. However, this is not the only way you can determine the radius. You can also use the distance formula. Again, using our center, 3, -2, and our given point, 3, -5, we can plug it into the distance formula. Which is written as d equals square root x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, where d is the distance and x and y are the coordinates represented by x2, x1, y2, and y1. When we plug in 3, -2 and 3, -5 into the equation, it will look like d equals square root 3 minus 3 squared plus -5 minus -2 squared. We continue to simplify this until the answer is found. First we go d equals square root 0 squared plus -3 squared, which can be brought down to d equals root 9, which we can see is 3. This once again gives us 3 as the radius for the equation. It just took a little longer of a route. But now that we have the radius, we can set up our equation. For this particular one, we're going to start off by using x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. If we remember, the center coordinates represent h and k, and our given point on the circle represents x and y. Using this knowledge, we can plug in the numbers to make the equation. So we'll start off with x minus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 3 squared. And then we'll simplify that down to x squared plus 9 minus 6x plus y squared plus 4 plus 4y equals 9. And then we can bring that down even more to x squared minus 6x plus y squared plus 4y plus 13 minus 9 equals 0, which we can bring it down to our final step to get x squared minus 6x plus y squared plus 4y plus 4 equals 0. Let's look at one more example. Say that we want to write an equation for the given. We'll put the center as -3, 1, and the radius is 4. Since we already know what our radius is, there is no need to count up or even use the distance formula, making this problem much easier to solve. Once again, using our knowledge that the center is equivalent to h and k, we can set up our starting equation. We'll start off by plugging in our numbers once again into the x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equation. It will begin by looking like this. X minus -3 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 4 squared. Having done this, we can simplify it even more. We know that a negative and a negative is going to equal a positive, so this will change to x plus 3 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 16, since 4 squared is equal to 16. This will be our final step for creating this equation. It's much easier than solving that last one, wasn't it?
Yes.